Hello, these are some tips for the function notation packet. So for the first page, it's all about this. See this reminder up here? This is f of -3 means -3 is your input and you plug it in for x. That is all what this first page is about. On the next page, you'll see mixed of f of -3 and f of x equals -3. If it's like this, that means that your whole function is equal to -3 and you plug it into the y, or you set it equal to 3 and then you solve for x. Let me write that down. Solve for x if it's like this. So this way you're actually solving, this one you're just plugging it in. So for example, number part A, this is f of -2, so this would be 2 times -2 minus 3, which would be -4 minus 3, which is -7. And then circle or box your final answer, and then we'll check all our answers the next day in class. So that's what these ones are about. Now these ones, be careful because the number is being squared. This is called a quadratic when it's x squared. So when it's being squared and you have a negative, then you have to put the negative in parentheses like that. So this is -3 times -3. And the reason why is because whenever you square a negative, it needs to become positive. And if you don't do that, then your calculator, if you plug it into your calculator, won't give you the right answer. So that would be +9. This would be +9. Because you have two negatives, +5. So that's 18 plus 5 is 23. And then I'll let you do the rest of those. For these ones, you're going to fill the table in. And then whatever points, there will be 2 points that don't fit on this graph, but the ones that do, you will connect them. So will probably make a line. So what type of function is this? There are 3 basic types of functions. There's linear, which makes a line. And this is when you have like y equals mx plus b. There's quadratic. A quadratic will make like a U shape, a parabola. And this is when you would have like y equals x squared, like the numbers above. And then there's one more basic type that we are going to be talking about in this class. There's a whole lot more. Exponential. And this is if you have like kind of like a quadratic, but it's only a half U shape. So you might, I don't know if you've learned about these types of functions in science class. This is when you have a number to the power of x. So when you have it in the exponent, that's called exponential. So one of these will be the answer on the second page. So on the next page, you see this 2 to the x. That doesn't mean, if it's x is -2, that doesn't mean 2 times -2. It doesn't mean 2 squared, so it's not 4. I would use your calculator. So use your calculator to fill the table in. This is not a function that we've talked about yet, so just use your calculator and plot the points. So just plot points. This is not linear. It's not 2x plus 5. It's either quadratic or exponential. So plot it, like it'll be like a curve. So draw a line, curve through it, and then see which one it is. Okay, so for these ones, I'll give you hints. There are 2 of them that are not enough information, meaning that if you try figuring out the answer, like for example, this is f of -3, that means x is -3, so that's right there. But if it wasn't there, then that would be not enough information. You couldn't tell. So if it's -3 for x, then you're looking for the output when the input is -3. So that would be 2. So for A through D, that's the first part. For the second part, it says if f of x equals 9, what is x? So this is saying when the output is 9, what is the input? Because remember, x means input. So I look in the output column at 9, the input is 2. So the answer is 2 for this. And the other hint is that there's one that has two answers to it. So you'll look and see that you get two answers. So that's what you need to do for that one. This one is kind of like the other ones, just either these ones you're all just setting it equal to the function because it's all h of x equals. So you set it equal, solve for x. So this is solve for x. So you read the description here. It tells you that. Next page, this is kind of just what we were doing. Remember these ones, you plug it in. These three, you set it equal and solve for x. These are optional, but give it a try if you have time. These ones are kind of self-explanatory. We've done ones like those in class. But for these ones, what you're doing, I'll do one of them with you. F of -4, so that means, remember, that means x is -4. So you look on your x-axis. Here's -4 on your x-axis, so you look up to see what the point is. So that coordinate is -4, 2. So when the input is -4, your output is 2. So when it gives you the input, it's asking for what the y value is there. And then for these ones, find x when f of x is 2. So when y equals 2 along here, you have to look at what the x values are. So either right there or right there. So there's two answers to this, -4 and -0.8. Okay, so then for this, you do not have to do this first question on problem 1, and then the rest of the page is like the other questions. For these ones, you're going to get two answers for all of those. So I hope those hints help.